Welcome to Maurine's meditation page. These meditations are offered free in service to the divine. If you're interested in working with Maurine, learn more at headtoyourheart.com.
Natalie was just sharing that it's Diwali. I think you pronounced it that way, and that I know that fall is the time where they celebrate the goddess Durga in India. And she was saying about it's a festival of light, which is interesting because this is like the darkest time right now. This is the dark time we're really moving into, the sun setting so early now, and we're in all this darkness. And so it's this beautiful opportunity to have a metaphor for the shadow in your life, for the darkness in our life, and how how it's just been such a normal thing to fear. Humans fear the dark, right? We've been made to maybe resent our shadow and want to avoid our shadow, or avoid looking at her, or maybe judge ourselves, that maybe your shadow self came out, maybe a part of yourself that you're not as proud of, or that you judge, has come out. So this is kind of a reminder that this is actually a celebration, to celebrate that darkness, to love and appreciate the flip side of light. And what is that flip side? And what happens in that darkness? And how can we be in the darkness with a sense of equanimity and a sense of acceptance? Be in that darkness and being okay with what is, instead of thinking, oh, I just wish it were summer again and warm and more light, but to be okay with this darkness and accept it and love it, and drop that resentment. All of this, I think all of the pain that we experience comes from judgment, or this critical mind. It's always wanting to judge and compartmentalize and make up stories about things. So I think it's a beautiful thing to consider, to just be at peace with what is, and to maybe not judge the dark, and to just welcome it and say, what does the darkness want to show me? What does my shadow self, that contrast between your light self and your shadow self, what does that contrast show you about yourself? And I heard a quote today, and I was going to start the meditation with it, which is, it's a spin off of Gandhi's quote. I believe it's Gandhi who did the quote of, be the change that you want to see in life, something like that. So this one was, be the light that you want to see in the world. So that kind of goes along with where we are talking about shadow and dark. And I would say, bring your light of love to the darkness in your life. Are you having a darkness in your life? Is there something that you're fearful of? Is there something that's been weighing on you? Or if not, is there something that you're seeing weighing on life, or a friend? And how can we bring light to that and just sit with it in the darkness with love? So let's just move into meditation on that note. So just asking you to get into a comfortable position and close down your eyelids. Just imagine opening yourself like a flower to call in the energies of the universe, the higher power, the collective consciousness, the light, infinite love, whatever you call that for yourself. It can't be named. It's so much bigger than what our small mind can make sense of. But your heart knows. So breathe into your heart and imagine that you can open like petals on a flower. That you could just sit in the presence of something so profound, so loving. Your breath take you deeper. If your mind is doing a lot of thinking, then just engage your mind with activating your imagination and imagine yourself in a beautiful setting, in a beautiful place, maybe even a mystical place, a place in nature that has an element to it of the mystic, of profound love, and a lightness. Is a place where you're not heavy. This is a place where you are welcome. The Christ consciousness welcomes you. You are so loved and appreciated, and you are known. You are known throughout time. You are recognized. You experience a guidance that is there. It may show up as an angel, Mother Mary, Jesus, or some other archetype. Doesn't matter. Know that you are welcomed, appreciated, loved, and that you've never walked one step in your life alone. His presence has been with you and has always celebrated you and has never judged you or condemned your shadow. It's always seen the light in you. Bask in the warmth of this acceptance. It's an important step to bask in that acceptance, in that warmth. Because as you do, you're opening and receiving, you're having a relationship. I'll give you some time to just go through that experience of opening receiving, basking in that warmth of acceptance. Breathe into the stillness, into full presence, falling into the arms of acceptance. Blending your essence with divine essence. Where does the divine start and you end? Where do you begin? Where does it start? It's a big circle. You are the light. This divine essence, we want you to know. Does it have a message for you? God knows our deepest sufferings. We can't hide anything here. Yet the love that we receive is just absolutely all encompassing. There's no limit to it. There's no holding back. It's not conditional. This is unconditional love. So I invite you to do this work with yourself. What part of you do you need to then turn to and love it unconditionally? As you are loved, how can you turn and love your shadow self unconditionally, with kindness and compassion? In time with your shadow self, that darkness, and love it, forgive it, hold it, practice what Jesus preached, to love your enemy, so that we don't have an enemy, so we just have love. Conjure up your deepest compassion and send warmth. Whatever shadow you have in your life, whether it's an aspect of yourself that you've judged, whether it's a fear or a recurring thought or anything that's haunted you. Just discover, when did you learn to judge? When did you learn to harshly and negatively judge yourself? And find that inner critic inside, that voice, that judge. This voice, it was never its intention to harm you. It's just programming. So I want you to give it an image and love it, just as Jesus always loved. So let's practice that unconditional love and call in that judge, call in that inner critic inside. And just let it know, no matter what, I love you. I give you compassion and warmth. I give you warm arms to embrace and hold, to give you comfort. Give you positive, loving attention. Knowing this voice never meant to harm you. Notice if this is hard for you. Remember that all aspects of yourself are an extension of your Creator. But it's just contrast. How much love we can bring to things escalates the evolution and the transformation from a low vibration to a higher vibration. So if we're challenged, that's a good thing, because with challenge comes wisdom and discovery and new experiences. Let love lead. And as you love the hardest thing, you can ask for help. You can ask for divine guidance. Show me how to love this. Give me the strength to love something that's hard to love. And ask for help to bring more love in, to be a vessel, a conduit for love to radiate out into the world and to show us how to love the hardest thing in the outer world, how to even love hate, how to love suffering, how to bring love to the hardest situations, to the hardest personalities and situations. Asking love to infuse all of the people so they can be in the agency of love. With your love, creating more love in the world for healing, transformation, evolution. This is the time. It takes a lot of courage to love. It takes a lot of courage to be vulnerable and to let love lead. Invite love to heal you, guide you, strengthen you, carry you into a higher way of being in the world. love fill you. Feel it in your body. Feel it flowing through your limbs, your torso, your head, and every part of you. Feel the vibration and the energy of love inside. And as we round the corner to the end of our meditation, imagine that you're bringing a blessing to this time of shadow, of our dark season. You can make an offering to this darkness. This offering of love, this offering to the darkness, it's symbolic for the seeds that are dormant in the ground. They're being nurtured, they're being held, and they're in suspension until the waters of the winter and then the spring begin to help it go through the transformation of new life. So this is a sacred time. So make your offering. Let it go in into this season of darkness, into the ground. So that it can be reborn in the proper time. And as we want to do with all of our meditations, to always finish with gratitude. Letting yourself come back into the lightness of your room. Being so grateful for the warmth, the shelter, the light on a dark night. Breathe into your heart and allow at least one thing, if not more, to bubble up that you feel particularly appreciative of. And just offering thanks to all the things that you feel grateful for in this moment. Knowing that you are blessed, you are loved, None of the hardships that you have are there to make you suffer, but they're there for your experience. Ask, how can you grow from them? Breathe that in. Letting that vibration of gratitude just radiate off of you and out into the atmosphere. Feeling a high vibration. Imagine it affecting everything around you. The energy in your room, your pet, your family members, your neighbors. A wavelength just going out and out from this altruistic gratitude that you are generating. Feel how bright that feels. No matter how dark, notice the lightness. Breathe into that. All of that gratitude echoing out and echoing back into you. Let every breath just guide you back from your meditation tonight. Back to your outer awareness. Letting it guide you back as we begin to come back from our meditation and preparing for our blessing giving. Take your time as you make that transition. As you come back, put on some music to facilitate the blessing giving segment that will follow.
Thank you for joining in on these free meditations. If you're interested in working with Maurine privately, learn more at headtoyourheart.com.